Okay. Now we got this together. I don't know what happened, but StreamYard is really, really not trying to be friendly. Like, y'all not gonna do this, not tonight, not for my Madonna's night. Like, we are not
Hey, it's the
about to
story of my
do
life.
this.
It's the story of my life.
No, we will not.
Something
I
trying to block the
refuse. We
flow.
will not. So let me run this back because somehow we were live under two different podcasts. So I had to restart. Appreciate y'all that was in the comments. But as I was saying while we was talking, this is when I finally got to meet Mama Donna in person. This woman is such a beautiful soul. And she left such a lasting impression. My uncle said he gonna try his best to jump in, but he was driving on the road. So now let's go
Okay.
back to see who is here. We got Regina Brooks, we got Essentially Shanice, we got Love Faby. They said congratulations. Scott said hey. Malikia said hey. Zanice is waving. Uh, there go my Suge Carla. She says salutations. Wallace said uncle. Wallace not like that. Okay.
And no, I
Let
can't
me
find you.
explain.
I
Look,
don't
look,
know
look,
what's
look,
going
hold up.
on.
Big bruh. Look, big bruh. Let me explain.
Okay,
Let
there
me
we go.
explain. Because trust me, I know how you are about Mama Donna. Okay. Um, Malikia
Don't be
and
trying to interrupt my
no,
flow, Wallace. Leave it alone.
no, but
Leave
I
my
gotta give
son.
him this. I gotta give him
No, no,
this.
no,
His
because it ain't
respect.
like that. It ain't
Because
like
my
that.
sons is the same way with me. So, but no, Wallace, my uncle Mike.
I'm a little too old for that, and he's a little too old for that. Let it go.
But
Let it go.
no, no. Uncle
Let it
Mike
fly.
is like my heart. He's everything. And this was my first time performing live in front of him since I was like in junior high school.
Hmm.
So I wrote a poem dedicated to him and he didn't hear nothing about it until that first night. So it was dope getting to meet your mom, who I only knew like the rest of y'all through Clubhouse. And then, like I said, when people say that they know me, they don't really know me if they don't get to meet Uncle Mike. So
Yep.
they are all that was present that night can really toot their horn and say, "Oh no, I know
And it might
Sunshine."
not have been the big turnout, but guess what? It was.
It,
It
it
was
was
a
it was
good
there.
time. It
Yeah.
was a good time.
Yeah, he laughing now. That's right.
Yeah.
Now back up off, mama. Ain't nobody
Trying to
trying to do
clear.
nothing.
I'm clarifying for him. Let him think I'm there. Somebody come that want to talk to me.
I look. That just
Let
lets
me
me
have my moment.
that just lets me know that my sons are 11 and 13 now. So that right there just tells me it's never going to end.
Oh, you don't
Thank
even want to
you,
know.
Wallace.
So,
Thank you.
you don't even want to know. As a kid, I remember we were walking down the street, and some kid asked him, "Was I his girlfriend?" And he yelling, "No, that's my mama." I'm like, really, this my son. This my son. This my son. Okay,
That
I don't
is
know where they
funny.
got that idea from. Well, they must have thought he was dipping into the old pool. I don't know what that was all about.
That is too funny. We got J&J
Hey,
Productions,
hey,
Acrylic Arts.
that's Jared.
He said no pre-screening. Nah. Okay, so Mama, while we was under the other live, you was saying the thing that you wanted people to know about you. You said you really don't like to talk about yourself.
I really don't. It's hard for me to talk about myself. This, you know, because I don't really feel I've done a lot. So you understand what I'm saying? I get up, go to work every day. I come home. I started poetry a little over 3 years ago. So there's not much to me as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what the people see in me, what they want to know about me. And so it's hard for me to say, you couldn't be too prideful, you couldn't be too boastful, you couldn't be any of those things. So those kind of things stuck with me. So I've never boasted on myself. I never talk about what I can or cannot do. I sit back and I wait and see if people tell me, and then I still look at them and like, okay, I don't know what you're seeing, but I still, you know,
Carla said it must be a Reed thing. She said her son acts like that too. He's a reader.
It must be because I really don't like posting. I'm just going to do it. If you ask me to do something, I'm just going to do it. Um, the one thing I do try, I do have pride in is when I do cook that I hope that people enjoy the food.
Yeah,
You
look,
understand?
yeah, I've been hearing about the meals, man.
You know, and I have people, and I'm starting to believe in my cooking abilities. It only took me 69 years. I'm starting to believe in the cooking abilities. But yeah, I've had people to ask me make specific things for them all the time. So it's flattering, but it's also I still have to go. How was it? Did it taste okay? Because I still have that doubt. You understand?
Well, look, from what I heard, it ain't no complaints. Like I had some of the weakest food. She done had so far just my fried fish because she
Uh-huh.
had a layover. And I said, "Oh, I'm right by the airport, 7 minutes. I'll come scoop you, right?" So, when I moved from Greensboro, like a lot of people still there, they was like, "Yo, I miss when you used to sell them dinners and stuff like that." And I said, "Well, cooking is just what I do. I'm used to cooking big anyway. So when it would be events, why not? Especially when you throw a kickback
I
and
didn't
make
start learning how to. I didn't
$50.
start doing big cooking until I worked at a. They were
Okay.
it was 17 guys, and the holidays they would do the holiday meal the day before the holiday. So the kitchen people didn't have the
Mm-hmm.
holiday off. So all they sent over for the holiday, like for Christmas or thing, was a big pan of canned ravioli. And I just thought that was the saddest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So Wallace will tell you, I have to run to the store 20 million times because I forgot something, but I started cooking for the guys. But the first time I ever cooked, oh, they appreciate it. They loved that I fixed them breakfast because I worked overnight. I fixed them breakfast. They loved it. And then one of the guys, I said, oh, y'all enjoy it? They said, yes, yes. Then one of the guys said, so when you going to go in there and clean up the kitchen? And I was getting ready to close the door when I heard him say that. And I turned around. I said, look at him, whoever said it, and tell him thank you for me never, ever making y'all breakfast ever again. And I closed the door. All I heard was cursing out and everything. They all went there and cleaned up the dishes. And I ain't never had that problem again.
I know that's right. He better get some act right. I don't know what his problem was.
And he got some act right, and I didn't have to give it to him.
Did he apologize at least?
Oh, that's right. He never admitted to, but that's all right. I heard them.
Mm, 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 mm.
They got him straight. And so they appreciated it after that. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, all those kind of holidays, I started cooking for the guys.
Oh, see, now that's a good. See, I told y'all, Mama Donna is different. She is different. She is made different. She's cut from a different cloth. If you ever have the opportunity to come across her, when I say it is
I
definitely
know
a
because you
blessing.
got a picture of me, and I don't know how you snuck that in, but you got a picture of me. When I saw that flyer, I was like, girl, do you see that side profile? Why you do that to me? Why?
Mama,
I don't like pictures. Everybody will tell you, I don't
I
like
know,
pictures. I
I
hate pictures.
know.
I don't
You
take
told me that night. You was like this. I don't like pictures, sunshine.
and you took my picture anyway.
Yeah, I said, Mama, I got to look. There go Uncle Mike. Peace, peace, Uncle Mike. So like, yeah, like you really left such a good impression. And I don't know, like everybody goes through their own things. And so much like we all share that poetry is definitely therapy through creative writing. And it was like a lot that was going on emotionally, but it was just like you said, the right people were there, were present.
It was the right place for the right time.
For the right time. And I really took back, like even on my flight back to Charlotte, I was like, wow, just reflected on the whole event, but you just kept it was you just it was, I don't Mama, your spirit, your energy is just like it felt like it was so familiar, like I had already been around you. And maybe it's because
That's nice.
I was raised by my elders after my mom got sick. So like I am very close with all the elder women in the family, like and like their children, like yeah, they my favorite cousins, but their mamas was like this with me.
But the funny thing thing is, you know what the funny thing is, I would have wanted my kids to bring kids around and be that person, but because of how my money was funny and our situations were homelessness and getting back on our feet and repetitiveness, I didn't want people to see that part of us. So it made it difficult for them to have kids around and stuff like that. But I was hoping when we got older, I could be around their friends. But you know what? I raised my kids to be independent. They're very independent. You know, you got some of these 40, 50-year-old people still living with their mamas and stuff like that. And you'd be like, okay. But no,
Yeah.
no, my kids are very
Mhm.
independent. It makes it kind of lonely as a parent, but it also makes me have a lot of pride that they stand on their own.
Okay. Yes, definitely no, because Wallace, he is definitely doing his thing. He said there's a crackling in the sound, so I don't know which side it's
From
coming
who?
from.
Me?
Or let's look, or unless it's the crickets outside, because I do have my window open, nice fresh
Oh,
breeze.
okay, yeah.
So I don't know if
Because
it's the
no,
crackling you're talking about, but I apologize if it is. But
I'm glad I got the green screen because nobody can see the disaster of my room. I'm like, oh Lord. It's the
so,
things
Mama,
we
you
women
said
think about.
poetry.
Mm.
Yes, for real. You said poetry 3 years?
A little over 3 years, yes. I started in
A little
2022.
over 3 years. So, did you start on your own or did you start with Clubhouse?
I started with Clubhouse. It all started with Wallace had a feature. And, and he invited me to come to the Clubhouse. I never heard of Clubhouse, didn't know there was an app called Clubhouse, didn't know anything about it. And he had sent a piece. I have to admit, it hurt. But then again, I realized after I read the piece that I perpetrated what my mother did. I didn't tell my kids what I went through as a kid. I tried not to show them what I was going through. And them not knowing, they didn't understand. So they had their own perception of me. And I am not knocking their perception because their perception is their perception, their reality is their reality.
Mhm.
But I needed to fill him in on some spots. Because I was great for saying, I'm glad I got my kids got the same father, but he didn't know where that came from. That came from me growing up with a sister and her father being there and me being on the outside and my mother and her father and her being nuclear and I was just there.
Mhm.
Okay. And I didn't want my kids to go through that.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, my kids' father died when they were 5 and 2.
Okay.
And at that time, I thought, well, at least they ain't got to go through the wonder of is he going to be around? Is he not going to be around? And they don't have to worry about that. But then they went through their own unique thing of not having a father there,
Mhm.
and there was nothing I can do about that because I wasn't the cause of him not being there.
Okay. Hey, Scott. Scott,
Hey,
send
Scott.
love.
Hmm.
Regina, love you, my
Love you too,
diamond
Gina.
indeed. So, you know what I asked, right? Because you was like, "What all I need?"
Yeah,
So I think that part would be a perfect segue for you to share a piece with us.
of
So
course.
folks, as viewing could get to see what we already know about you.
So I had set a few pieces aside, and this one I've been doing lately because I've been on this like emotional roller coaster, and it's come from some weird thought processes I've been having for 29 years. I'm not going to do exactly what I did with verbs and vibes, but this led up to that point. So here is it's called Tears. Why is this happening now? There's a shift in the atmosphere. what the hell is going on? Why all of a sudden? Why are you feeling so damn emotional? On the verge of tears. This is nothing new. This latest hurt is the same as all the others, isn't it? Girl, what is going on? You should be used to this by now. Disappointment has been a constant companion. I can't cry. Fight the inclination. Tears stay at bay. They can't see your vulnerability. You cannot look weak, ineffectual. This is different, though. Self-talk is not working. I can't stop it. Shame is fast approaching. I usually hold it together. I've always been stoic. You cannot have my pain. That's my frame. It's ingrained. I will not let these tears drop. Tears welling into pools, ready to spill over. Shit. A tear slipped through. Is there anyone around to see my shame? Is there tissue nearby? Can I wipe my face surreptitiously? Why now? Is it because I'm older now? My emotions are front and center, all ever present. I can't hide from the pain any longer. When did this shift occurred? Could it be my refusal to cry has reached its pinnacle? Stop it, empathy or anything. I'm strong, damn it. Stop this shit right now. Feelings on Front Street. Another tears rolled down my cheek. Avert your head. I will not cry. I cannot cry. I don't cry. Why do we deny ourselves the release tears give us? I don't even cry when happy. Let me leave. Cry in secrecy. There's nowhere to go. Please don't talk to me. I burst, releasing the pent-up tears, gasping for breath, face crumbling, all out ugly crying. I have to, shame is complete. Damn, tears, you won again. And that's with my mama, Donna.
Ooh, Mama Donna. That one right there. That one right there, I can tell you at 44, I know there's been times where I had to run through things in my head like that. Those feelings, those emotions. When you finally wrote that piece, how did you feel during the process and then once it was done?
Oh, so hey, I'm trying not to cry now. You understand what I'm saying? So it's I've off my shoulder, but I'm not gonna cry on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm willing to take yours. I'm willing to take your pain in, but I'm not willing to let my pain out.
Yep.
Because if you see my pain, are you going to stick around? Maybe my pain is too ugly. Maybe it's too much. Maybe it's, ooh, I might push you away. So guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to risk that. Mm-hmm. So I'll just hold all mine in. I'll take all yours and put it on top. Then, and then I'm like, okay, where's that release? And sometimes that release has to come, and it comes in the most inopportune times.
Yes. It's almost like I can definitely relate. It's like you want to schedule it. Like you can't do this now because I got X, Y, and Z to do. I can't break right now. You know, I definitely, wow, Mama. You know what? This got to be the reason why you seem so familiar to me when we finally met in person. Because literally everything you said, I remember telling someone this. My cousin, after I had lost my daughter, my cousin used to rest her soul. I love her so much because
my condolences.
Appreciate you. My uncle Mike and her stayed connected. She was part of my father's family, so she was the weaving and the woven to get me back to that side. And she immediately took off work and stayed with me for 2 weeks, 2 whole weeks through that whole process. And she told me, Moni, I wish you would just cry. I wish you would just let it go. Like, and I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, you just have so much emotion and you have all these people that are coming to you and crying and you're just absorbing that on top of yours. And it's like when you are seen as strength, and correct me if I'm wrong, it is very hard to release to those same people.
Because guess what? You do. you buy into the hype. You're strong. Everybody can rely on
Yeah.
you.
And then it's like
But
the
you
moment,
but you can't and you can't rely on nobody else because you used to them relying on you.
yep.
So your strength, you're strong. You take it on, and because of how I've been structured from a young child. I've taken care of people. I took care of my sister. My mother went and got my nephew. I took care of my nephew. I'm taking care of. I have my kids. Trying to take care of them. With me was me. So trying to take care of me. I mean, I remember a time I went to the hospital. I drove myself to the emergency room. I got two girl kids. You understand me? They would have took me. But I took myself to the hospital. I was having a hard time breathing. So the hospital got a call and let them know. And they were rightfully mad at me. And I did the same thing my mother did to me, was trying to keep my health a secret.
Well,
Trying to keep them from knowing those things. And you, as you get older, you realize you perpetrate a lot of things that your parents visited on you or taught you.
well, I do feel like I am doing something right because I talk about my royals so much. I am so real with them. One, because the women before me was real with me. My uncle Mike, like I said, has been the realest ever. My grandfather, my grandmother Renee, like they never bit their tongues. Everything was like straight up raw, no chase. So I'm like that with my sons, but I curve it a little bit, because one might be a little bit
That's
more.
I try to be that with when they were growing up. I try to be that with my kids because my mother didn't talk to me about anything. She didn't. I was there. I was not some. I can't say she raised me. I swear I had been left with other people because she didn't raise me. But when I was home and when I was back with her, I was just trying to stay somewhere in the corner and not be noticed too much and not be much of a problem, so I didn't get sent back somewhere else or she couldn't handle it anymore. But once I started poetry, I understood my mother's history. I started delving a little bit. I had a much older sister. She was, I think, she was 12 or 13. I didn't meet her until I was in my 30s, but she always knew about me and my younger sister. So there's just a lot of history. I hid things from my kids as my mother hid things from us.
Yeah, I recently had to go through a biopsy. I wasn't comfortable with it. The one person that I shared all that stuff with, my sister, yesterday was just the anniversary of her passing, and we talked every single day, especially when I moved to North Carolina, especially when I moved to Charlotte. Every single morning, we're getting ready. Our morning routine was us on the phone getting ready. She hopped in the train to go over into the city. I'm loading the boys up in the car, dropping them off, and I'm going to the dialysis clinic. Like, this is what we did every single day. And I didn't have that. But like Malikia, I had Carla, those that are in, the chat, like, they became sisters and additional brothers, in the midst of that. But I had to sit my sons down and have that conversation. It became very, very stuck to me even more. So one son, I started losing weight. He thought I was carrying. And he said, "Oh, mommy, we're gonna have a baby." And I said, no. And it turns out that I have a huge fibroid that's like 5 pounds. And I didn't, they were so focused on my arms that they said, once we get your carpal tunnel and cubital tunnel out of the way, we're going to go ahead and then go back to your stomach. But I was having pain so much. And with the weight loss, I can feel it more. It sticks out more. When I went back to work, they was looking at me. I said, no.
Like, yeah, I know. I've been
not.
there. I had a fibroid. Fibroid was pretty big when I had hysterectomy. I want to be alive. If it's something that has to be removed, then that's what doctors like this here. You had a fibroid. You need to get it removed. Hurry up. Okay, wait. Now you got to schedule it. You got to schedule the hysterectomy. Then you got to schedule this, and then it's too late. Well, you make it sound like I'm dying, but now you tell me to hurry up and wait.
Like now, I come from elder women, especially like my aunt Yeye. She, when my mom passed, and then I moved in with my great grandmother, which was her grandmother, and then she passed. Like I was bounced around. Then I got with my aunt Yeye. She was 24 when she had her first miscarriage and never had the opportunity to conceive again because they immediately took everything. And I remember how that made her feel. I remember her weeping when she found out that I was pregnant. I did have a pregnancy at 16, but it was my choice. Like I felt like I was being forced and I had to do the right thing. And I didn't believe in abortions, but I went ahead and got one. She was crying the whole entire time. It was confusing at the same time. But then when I had my daughter, she was just right there. Like she had her, she wouldn't let anybody touch her when she was around, stuff like that. And
well, the funny thing with my pregnancies, each time I was pregnant, I didn't believe in abortion. I was just deal. That's how I felt. I didn't know about the dangers of pregnancy as at 17 and at 20. You understand what I'm saying? Because you just nobody talked about it like they talk about it now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just I'm pregnant. Okay. I'm eating everything I want. I'm gonna go have a baby. They both were healthy. I was lucky. Okay. They were easy births. I didn't have any complications with anything. I didn't have morning sickness. I didn't have any of that, So life was just what it was. I got pregnant. I had 2 kids. My first when I was 17, 3 months before. In fact, they're exactly 3 years, 10 days apart.
That's what's up.
One was 2 weeks. My daughter was 2 weeks early, and my son was 3 days late. So they should have been born around the same time, but they still would have both been cancers.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if my daughter had been a Cancer in July, would she be as boisterous as my or as friendly as my son is? Because my daughter's more of an introvert, and she's more of a you ain't invading my family type person. She'll give you the evil eye. Don't come. Well, this is my family. She's kind of territorial when it comes to stuff. Where Wallace is more friendlier and he's more outgoing. That's not me and my daughter though. I want to lay back and get and watch the scenery.
And you definitely did that night when we was in Newark. You did.
Oh yeah.
Well, I would tell you, it's like I'm seeing it all over again. I came out from the bathroom. She was sitting at the chair like, "Hey, sunshine." What was that? Because she wasn't there when I got there.
I just sit back and I watch the scenery, and I get to figure people out. And before you start to see me, I have to be comfortable around you. Okay. So it was fun. It was easy with Scott and Malikia there because I think because we had that camaraderie, especially with Scott through the AM drive. So it's easier for me to tease him and go like that, because he.
Yes, father time is very special. And they are getting ready for partners around.
Yes, I know. And I'm sorry we had this glitch.
Look, see, there go Malikia. She said, "Got to scoot." And get ready. Love you. Apologies with the technical difficulties, but y'all can catch the rest on the replay. So right now we are going to play our let's see, who are we going to do? You know what? We're going to play our Blast Artist Spotlight of the Week. And when we come back, we're going to have Mama Donna share some more of her pieces. But this is one of our blast own. I got the opportunity to meet him in person, and he is such a dope artist and dope gentleman. Shouts out to his lady. She is definitely a lucky one. And this is none other than one of Blast favorites, Hakeem Romance
Sing
with
on
Elevated.
everything.
We gon' get this started. We don't have time to waste. Heard you was killing them in these streets. You done got a case. You causing major traffic. Girl, you a faulty habit. Walk with that daddy weapon. See, I like to keep things perky. You like to keep me working. Shout out to Houston. Love to the Carolinas. But we gon' keep this jersey. Nice be late. On us be early. Baby, I'ma keep you in girl. But I really gotta see if you worthy. Industry really not letting me in. In the Jamaica, fly all of my kin. Jumping at the just through with the beat. Creative AF, I won't say it again. Look me directly. You better not tell, not one. Lie, get in position. We bout to make this a new tradition. Adding to what you missing, girl. Whipping in the kitchen. We bout to mix it, mix it, mix it. You really bout this life, let's fix it. Don't play with it, baby, let's get it. Let me see you here. Show me some back here. It's jumping out the gym. Oh yeah. Elevated, I'ma let you demonstrate it. Move like infatuated. Industry really not letting me in. Ain't in Jamaica, fly all of my kin. Jumping at the just through with the beam. Creative AF, I won't say it again. Look me directly in my, not tell, not one, lie. So what are we doing today? You got that thing all in my face. I wanna make a power play. Serious work underlay. This joint be do it, do it. Let's get it understood. And it still no sense, so do it. Let me see you here. Show me something real. Like I would know back there. It's jumping out the gym. Oh yeah. Elevated, I'ma let you levitated. Hella infatuated. Industry really not letting me in. Ain't in Jamaica, fly all of my kin. Jumping at the just through with the beam. Creative AF, I won't say it again. Look me directly in my eyes. You better not tell, not one lie.
And that was Hakeem Romance with Elevated. So you too, if you like what you heard, you need to run on over to blastmusic247.com and join for the premium. And you can get your stage, get your music, your artistry uploaded so that you could be featured in between one of our podcasts and on our live radio station. And Blast has acquired Indie Post magazine. So if you become a member, you can also be featured in that as well. And listen, we also got space for the fans. So if you liked what you heard and want to see more and explore, because I'm also on Blast too. I gotta upload some more of my EP. But yes, you can check us out as well, and you can join for the free. That's blastmusic247.com, changing the industry one artist at a time. So, how'd you like that, Mama?
I like that. Is that New Jersey beat?
Actually, Hakeem is from Virginia,
Oh, okay.
and but he said his mom, like, that's the era, of music that he likes, the house music, the Jersey
Mm-hmm.
house music vibe. So he does that a lot. So you definitely get an opportunity to go on Blast. You can see his music. He's also you can even look him up, like, when you do reels, you can look
Yep.
him up. Just look up Hakeem Romance. You'll see all his songs that come up on there. So I've used his stuff on some of my reels as well. And we had him on the show not too long ago where I used all his songs for the promos. I was like, why not, bro? We're gonna get you out
Why
there.
not? Why not? Get them out there.
Yes, yes, yes. And yes, so what we didn't discuss is I know you also have Jersey roots, right?
Yes, I was born in Atlantic City. I was just there from the 4th to the 8th at Harris. A friend of mine said she was going down, and did y'all want to go? She said, "What you know about Atlantic City?" I said, "Nothing, but I was born there." That's what I know about Atlantic City. I was born there, so we went there. I ain't win no money, but it was all right. It was my birthday weekend. I had a great time. It was fun. Um, but I was in last earlier in August. I was I was in Newark.
I know. I saw them pictures.
I was
I
in
wanted to
Newark, and
go home so
I was at a
bad.
Jamaican. I was with the Jamaicans though.
I wanted to go home so bad.
I was with
And
the Jamaicans though.
I missed the Eastern Parkway. I missed the festival in Newark. I missed the house music festivals. Like, I ain't
Yep,
get to
I
do
was.
none.
Nobody could tell me what Black Nick was, and I'm like, nope, I didn't know what to dress. All they said wear from flowers. I'm like, I don't know what to buy, but luckily it worked out well, and it was it was very nice. It was fun and stuff like that. So hopefully we can do it again next year.
Yes, yes. My vehicle situation is just be getting on my nerves because I stay driving everywhere. I get on the road, but
And I drove down there too, but I don't like driving around New York. I don't know why y'all just can't have street and highways with just regular names on Route 929, 39, 59. Go over to no, y'all confuse me. We kept going back and forth over the same highway, paying tolls, two or three. You know what? No,
oh,
no.
oh
In
no, that's
Connecticut, we
not
don't have
good.
tolls. We don't have tolls. Y'all
Okay.
drive me crazy with these tolls.
And Regina said that this level of support for artists is exceptional. Yes. So you too, we need to get you on there, Regina. I need to get you on here and get you interviewed as well so we can get you featured. That's
Yes, you
definitely
do.
not a problem. And she said outside of Chicago and a house head. Oh, of course, born and raised. And you can't tell me nothing about it, okay? I got cousins that's DJs and all of that. That's house music all night
You know
long.
what? I
That's
used to listen to a lot of music when I was a kid, and then for some reason I just stopped listening to music. I used to call myself singing along with songs, and I just slowly just wiped all that away from me. And I got to get back to it. It was nothing for me. Used to have a big stereo and could blast the music. I just stopped
I
playing
rather
music.
listen to music than watch TV. Like this whole streaming stuff is new to me, especially when you have people and family. Like everybody likes to watch something. Me, I will go in the living room and turn on the Roku and put on Pandora and rock out all day. Like I don't
Now, see,
really
that's the
have
thing. I
to
haven't listened to a Pandora. I haven't even listened to my Xfinity music channels. Nothing. I haven't listened to music in I don't know how long. I think it happened when I started doing live-in work, and you're with clients, and they don't have the cable at the time that you could be able to do stuff like that. They had the most basic of basic. They were
Mhm.
elderly. They wasn't looking at all them channels. So,
Yeah.
and if you're streaming nowadays, you got to pay for everybody streaming. If that's the case, all my paycheck is going to be going to everything streaming channels. And what will be the point of me
But
working?
Tubi is free.
Okay.
I
But
only do the ones that's free. And now I just realized, see, I was about to ask, is this Gina Storm? Because I don't know your government until now. So,
yep,
yes,
that's
ma'am.
Gina. That's Gina
Yes,
Storm.
ma'am, Miss Storm. Yes, I have been waiting to get you on the show. She said, my life has a soundtrack. I cook, clean, sleep with music. This is giving me life. Yes, indeed, indeed. Like, that is the best thing. Like, my uncle used to tell me, go outside. And he was like, you staying in the house too much. I said, well, I just want to listen to the radio. So he gave me one of his old school ones. And you couldn't tell me I wasn't MacGyver back in the day. Okay.
Oh,
So I
let me
would
tell
take
you
them
something.
and
I used to go.
slice them and
I
put
used
them
to sit
together.
with my kids' aunts. In fact, their aunt Susan. We called ourselves with a couple of other friends having a little group singing and trying to learn dances and stuff like that. All that stuff I stopped doing. I don't have a singing voice. It feels gravelly to me now, so I don't have that kind of voice right now. So and I wouldn't want to hurt y'all ears like that because it hurt my ears if I be honest. Yeah. But see, when you're young,
You
you don't
don't
have
care
no
about
sense.
that?
You don't care about none of that. You don't care about
Yeah.
none of that. But yeah, we used to call ourselves having to, we would go practice, and try to, we're going to be the next Supremes. We're going to be something.
That's what's up. So,
Yeah.
what do you have next to share with us, or would you just like to go ahead and take the mic without introducing it?
Oh no, I can tell you. This is still in that vein, but this one is now. I'm getting ready to tackle something that as I close into myself. I tended to shelter myself, and this is one of the things that I shelter myself from. Okay. I abhor physical touch, unless it's the horizontal dance in between the sheets. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. That does sound a little harsh. Donna, can you clarify? I don't know if I can. Abhor is not quite the right word, is it? The thought of the thought of social interactions would have me quaking in my boots, literally and figuratively. I have to engage with strangers, introductions, insecurity. Oh my, random people touching me, cringy, shaking, handshakes, pat on the back. Then there is the hugger. There's always a hugger among the bunch. Do you practice boundaries much? Hugs is the one though. I shudder at the thought of those arms, any arms, encompassing my body, pulling me in, enveloping me into close proximity to their body. I barely know you, a stranger. If I'm honest, also friends, not my kids or grandkids, though. With them, hugging is not my thing. Excuse me. Engaging in conversations I've learned to endure. Hugging, not so much. This might seem weird. A curious phenomenon has emerged. I need a hug. It feels strange to say. I need a hug. Physical contact, physical bond, physical outpouring of care. I need a hug, if only for a short moment. I need to know I matter, that there is someone who cares. The need for physical contact is unnerving. I haven't yearned, desired, needed, or wanted physical contact since I was a child. I thought I had successfully beat down the urge. As I get older, old needs emerge. I need a hug. Poetry and counseling has these feelings sitting at the forefront, welled up emotions, ever present, waiting to erupt, to spill over uncontrollably, like a dam. We're bursting at the seams, waiting for release. I need a hug to hold me together so that I don't shatter into a million pieces. I need a hug. I'm desperate. Can you give me a hug? And that's my Mama Donna.
All hugs over here, Mama Donna. All hugs. Ooh, that one was heavy too. It was definitely heavy too, because yeah, you know, energies are not always good, so hugging is good, but from the right source,
From the right source. And when I was a kid, I would have loved to have had a hug from my mother. So when you don't get that, I tend to wall myself off. So I'm not going to look for it from anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So when it does happen, it feels weird. It feels like off-putting. It's like, I'll let you do it, but inside I'm cringing. And I'm like, okay, well, how long is this going to last? You can let me go now. Can we just,
Yeah,
back up now?
like
Back up now.
like that. That's enough. Like,
yeah, that's enough. Okay. And they'll tell you when I started doing poetry and they wanted to talk about my pieces and they want to talk to me how they thought it was good or this or that, it'd be like, okay, that's enough for me. That's enough for me. Get off of me.
Yes, I've heard you say that. I've heard you say that.
That's enough. Yep, that's enough. Okay. That's enough. Okay. Because
I had just the comment I would do when it was Mama Donna's turn. I knew to be short and sweet and lay up off her.
Yep. Back up off of that. And if you think about it, the compliments is uncomfortable for me. So when I hear it, I'm uncomfortable. I don't understand what you're seeing, because after you well down and push down all your feelings about yourself, for anybody to see you, are they really seeing you? Because do you really see you? So it makes it kind of hard to accept.
I get it. Like, I'm like that with my sons. People always tell me I'm doing such a great job, and I always feel like there's always more. Like, I'm doing this, but I always feel like I can do more, I can do better. But I said that to say to you, you have definitely survived what you have been through. You're not seeing it because you still hold it very close to you.
Very close.
So when you're ready to let go, then you'll be able to receive all of that we see and hear. When
I
we
can tell y'all
interact
people,
with
y'all
one
ain't gonna get me crying on no camera, and you ain't gonna get me crying on no clubhouse. I'm telling y'all now. I
but
receive it.
I'm being so honest with you. It's all waiting for you. You mean so much.
And I know, I hear positive feedback from people. It's just when you've wanted it for so long, it's like I can tell you a story. I wrote a piece. My mother one day out of the blue said, "I love you," and you would think after wanting to hear that, I was in my 30s. You would think after wanting to hear that, it felt weird. It felt like, okay, is she dying? Something happening? What's going on? I don't understand why she do that. And it wasn't. And after wanting it for so long, when it happened, I felt like, don't ever do that again. Which was, it was that thing that was like, oh my God, okay, what's going on?
Yeah, they are. Denise said the hearts are flying all over the screen. So when you catch the replay, you definitely gonna see.
All right, that's good. And it's,
But see,
and I think
she's trying to cut us off again.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. The only time I know. I'm sorry. I gotta stop.
Gina said, "You're not crying." She said, "I will ugly for us."
Okay, good. Thank you. That's my sis. That's my sis right there. She got
But
my
yeah,
back.
like it all comes to the time, like when we finally come to grips with the things that we've experienced in life. And I'm just grateful for, my mom. It was 21 days before my 9th birthday when she finally succumbed, like, from the poem that I shared, she succumbed to AIDS. So, I understand, I identify with that. When people in my family want to tell me something, they better tell Uncle Mike or they better tell Renee because I ain't listening to you. Or if you come from Aunt Helen, like, no, I'm not listening to you. I hear you, but hearing and listening is two different things, And
yeah,
and it's just that when you get comfortable with separating, okay, this is what it was and who I was at that moment, and here and now, this is who I am and who I'm evolving to be. Like you, and one thing that you admitted that a lot of people still don't in this day and age, you said counseling and poetry. And that's a great balance. And anybody knows if they ever took the time to actually go to counseling, they encourage writing, journaling, and a lot of poets are discovered through journaling. I know so many people that recently started writing poetry all because they started journaling. And
but the poetry journey for me started with Wallace's feature, and then I kept coming back to Clubhouse and to Small House, and I kept coming. And then one day I sent him I wrote it. So I'm writing this, but I'm gonna write it, and I'm gonna send it. And I expected him now. Now you already know how I am. I'm expecting him to go, okay, poetry is my thing. Don't be trying to step into my word. Don't be trying to do all this. This is what's all going in my head. And then he sent me one word, excellent. I'm like, who the hell is this child?
That's right. Because all he did was welcome what he already knew his mama possessed because you passed it on to him.
I hated writing. I didn't write. I was a counselor. I hated doing. You had to do the papers for them and get them for all the things that they need to do. So every time all that. So when I would send that in, I waited for them to come with all kind of corrections, and they barely had any corrections with my papers. But I still did not like writing. I still did because I thought I was a terrible writer. To this day, I still think I'm basic. So
that's what keeps you humble, Mama. That's the only thing I'm
right.
saying.
I just think I'm basic because Jared and I would tell you, I listen to some people's poetry. I don't know none of the wordings. I just write what's in my heart. I just write what comes to me
That's
at
right.
that moment. Is it poetry? I don't know. That's what they call poetry, is the spoken word. It's just what's coming from me at the moment in time and what I'm feeling. And if it resonates with people, I think a lot of stuff resonates with people, especially if we're women, when we all have similar but different
That's
experiences
right.
as mothers,
That's right.
as women,
Mm-hmm.
as in relationships
That's right.
with our parents, whatever. We've all had different but similar relationships. And I think if, okay, that's it.
Indeed. Gina said, I got you because crying can't always be pretty or silent. I turn into a tear monster in the shower. I know that's right.
I don't think I'm the ugliest thing in
You
the
got to
world, but
get
I
it.
don't think
You
I'm
got to
the
get it up
prettiest.
for about
But
all
I
for
don't
you.
like that
That's
ugly
that
crying.
exercise. And Denise agreed with us. She said, yes, I noticed that counseling and poetry, like it really does.
Yeah,
Like when you start to be the most intimate with yourself, you you it is so amazing what you uncover when you unveil that's been lying dormant within you for so long. You know, there's a light on people that they don't see, mama. There's a light on you
and I know
that
that don't,
you don't see.
besides the reflection of this computer, that's the only light I'm
But
seeing right now.
your aura, your
You
light,
understand what I'm
yeah,
saying?
like I call myself sunshine for a reason, but you are definitely the epitome of when they say the diamond in the rough. You have had your years of sandpaper to smooth you over, you know, and for the last 3 years, you have been releasing.
I happen because
Your
when
time
I
to
first
release.
started writing, I thought I was just vomiting so much stuff out there, so much pain, so much, and I would get to a point, I don't want to write about
Purge
this
it.
no
You
more. I
gotta
don't want to write
purge it.
about,
It's an exercise.
but when it was time to stop
Yep, you
writing it,
gotta get it up
it
off
stopped
you.
writing. And I started delving into different things. But yet it all started with Wallace doing the feature and then inviting me to Clubhouse. And then,
Love baby said, Mama, really?
yeah, really, yeah, really. You know me. I keep it real for my reality.
Mhm.
For my reality, I think I'm a basic person. I don't, you know, I've never seen myself as somebody that touches other people's lives, at least not outside of my job. I do caregiving. I'm a PCA, personal care attendant. I know that I can go into my job. They don't know my history. All they know is the person that's taking care of them. And I pour all my love into taking care of them. And the family sees it, they see it, they feel it. I can walk away from my job knowing I did a good job because they're not judging me.
Mhm.
And I hated feeling judged all the time, and or felt people were relying on me so much. And I closed myself off so much this past year or two. I realized I closed myself off for my kids too. I closed myself off from my kids. I became this island unto myself. And then I realized why that was, Sunshine. I was waiting to die.
Mm.
I had this weird thought in my head that 29 years after my mother died, that I was going to die before I turned 69.
Mm.
Well, here I am. I turned 69 and I'm still
That's
here.
right. You ain't
You
going
understand?
nowhere. You don't get to
I'm
tell
still
nobody
here.
when you getting up out of here. You ain't know that.
I'm
You didn't know
still
that.
here. But this is what I was doing. I was shutting myself down. I was preparing myself. I was isolating myself. I was doing all these different things to, and if I'm doing living, then, they don't have to worry about it because they're used to me not being around.
Mm.
All these different things were going in my head. And I can look in hindsight and say, that was stupid. But when you're in the midst of it and you really
Mhm.
don't understand what's going on with you, it's kind of hard to describe to others. So the counseling helped me to have that um that awareness. I had that awareness a few weeks ago. And then right after I had that awareness, I started having some kind of, the next day, I started having some kind of, was I having a seizure? Was I having a stroke? I end up in the emergency room. I still to this day don't know what
I
happened.
can tell you. I can tell you.
What was
And
it?
and see, Gina, see, look, touching and agreeing. Gina just said the purge that came after a poem sparked the necessity in the poetry community, and I am grateful to travel the path with you. I so agree with you. And when we evolve to the next level, when we purge, when we start to purge those emotions, it is painful physically as well. So when you shut down like that and you go to a doctor or a hospital and they can't tell you what's wrong because it's not a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing that manifested physically because it has been held within you for so long. Like the bondage, you done busted wide open, mama. That's why I said when you ready to let it all go, watch what's gonna happen to you. Ain't nobody gonna be able to tell you nothing. We can't
They
tell you
can't tell me nothing now, but not in the way that y'all,
we can't tell you nothing now.
you mean.
But we definitely can't tell you nothing now. But I mean, it's it's a beautiful transition. It's a beautiful transition. It's painful, but it's also beautiful at the same time. Is because you are laying things to rest that used to be bondage over you. A lot of the things that you don't like to share is because of what you've experienced. But your life is a walking testimony, whether you believe it or not. So those that didn't even get to know you, I guarantee you, anybody that watches this podcast, they will be able to take jewels away from you. They will be able to say, okay, well, if she can say she's experienced these things and look what it's doing for her, especially someone who think that they're a poet, like you said, you think you basic. For somebody who thinks they're basic, look at all these people that show you love all the time. You can't be that basic. You feel me? You can't be that basic.
Well, you know, it's easy when they can't see you on camera. So,
But see, that's what's even better because then it's no preconceived notions, no
right.
judgments. It's just voice, spirit, and heart in your words. And that is the most intimate thing that you can share with someone. And for people to still be wowed by you and show love to you by just knowing you from that. I was new to Clubhouse when I jumped on with you guys and started to come into partners and rhymes and stuff like that. So I've only been rocking with Clubhouse for like 2 years, almost my 3-year mark. So
Okay.
so like I'm new to Clubhouse too, but poetry has always been something that has
And I
throughout
respect
my
that,
life.
because for me, I have never thought about writing, never thought I could write. I'm my own worst critic, and I know that, and that is something that I struggle with. I'll be the one, somebody say, "Oh, that tasted delicious." Well, something was off about it. It didn't taste right to me, but they're loving it. But I'm still trying to find something to pick at it about but they're loving it. So
Look, see, I
that's
love
just the
them.
way it is.
They ain't letting you talk down the episode at all. Gina said, "Mama Donna, I
That's my
stay
family.
to you and love this for you so much." And Love Baby says, "Stop! You are a light, Mama. Poetry is just one of the tools
I
you."
keep telling y'all, I ain't gonna make me
That's
cry.
right.
I do.
That's
I
right.
appreciate everybody, and I'm gonna tell you what really got me when this last time I did Verbs and Vibes, and I did it on purpose. It was for my birthday. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know the pieces I was going to. 2 weeks before, I didn't know what I was going to spit. I ended up revamping 2 pieces and then writing 2 new pieces. All came to having what I thought was either a seizure. I thought I was having a stroke. Is this the day I'm dying? I had all these things going through my head. I never lost consciousness. And it just came to me that this was on purpose. Everything happened for a reason. I'm here at this place and time for a reason, to realize that I do have an impact, because when I saw the stage and I went back and I listened to the replays and I listened and I saw how many people were there to support me. People don't realize how much that meant to me. It gave some validation, some long sought validation that I mattered to somebody. I mattered to people. And now y'all are going to get me to cry. And that touched me more than anything. What I'm reading here touches me. And I want people to understand that I don't take this lightly, but it's hard for me to accept as well.
And we know, and that's why we continue to love you some more.
Okay, but that's enough of that now. That's enough of that now. That's enough of that.
But
Okay.
yes, Mama, I thank you so much. But like, you just don't know how. Like, you just made my night. You made my week.
And
It was a rough week.
we've been trying to do this since last year,
But it was at the right time.
but it came at the right time. Everything happens for a reason. It comes when it's supposed to happen. I said, I don't know what's happened with her, but here we are doing what we're supposed to be doing right here, right now.
Hold up. Somebody else just jumped in. Love Baby said we love you. And inspiration. Hey there, poet. Just jumped in. So I want to say, when I mean this is the right timing, Shine Vibration, September 30th is the official 3-year anniversary that I have.
Oh, congratulations.
Podcast with Blast. Thank you. September 27th is also the anniversary of my daughter's passing.
Okay.
As you heard, I mentioned earlier, the 18th was when my older sister, my big sis, we could finish each other's sentences. We had the telepathy type conversations in a room full of people. You know, we lost her on the 18th. And shout out to my best friend, my best homie, Alexander, today celebrating his born day. So there's been like a lot
Virgo's rule. I got to say this because you know what? I'm a Virgo. Mine was the 5th. My mother's was the 16th, and my granddaughter's was the 17th. So just Virgo's rule with it.
Okay, and also my Aunt Helen, shout out to her. She turned 97. Guess
God bless.
This past weekend. That is my great grandmother's only last surviving sister. She is the last matriarch of the Fitch sisters that I like to call them. She is 97 and strong and healthy, still in a sound mind, and she still got her wits about her. She had me cracking up on the phone.
I love the elderly, and it's fine. I find it funny. I say I love the elderly, but I have to count myself among them, and that's a weird thing. That's a weird thing.
And Gina said, you are not alone. We are here for you, Michael Jackson voice. But our 187 in these doubts keep coming.
Go 187, Gina. Please, Gina. You
Gina, no 187. No 187. No 187.
Nobody, Gina. No 187.
So, those of you who are watching, those of you who have been commenting that are poets, listen, get at me. Y'all know me on social media. Sunshine Cromwell, that's SUNSHINE, but on Instagram it's Queen Shine, QUEE 8HINE, and on TikTok I am Shine Marley. You know, I got all these things that sunshine in them, and then my writer's page on Facebook as well as Sunshine Vibrations, spelled just like how my name is here. And Mama Donna, let's give your shouts out, because you know those who want to be on the anniversary shows, get at me. You know, Mama Donna, if you want to come back, you know, you got door policy. Look, you got the revolving door. You can come back as many
revolving door, revolve on back. Okay.
That's right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mama Donna knows, and she said, "I fight." Love you, mean it. Bye. So Mama Donna, get your shout outs on and tell people how they can follow you and find you, so that we can go hop on Clubhouse with Lyrical Rhymes and the rest of the fam.
Yes, okay. If you're looking for me, you can mainly find me on Clubhouse. I really don't advertise too much on any of the other platforms. You know, I am Mama Donna on Instagram. If you want to look for me there, or Foxy Nana. Okay, yeah,
Nana.
Foxy Nan. When you first came out with getting emails, I didn't know what to put up there, so I put up Foxy Nana. You know, even though
It
back in the
fits.
day,
It
it fits.
fits.
Okay, Foxy Nana on either Instagram or Facebook. Either one of those. Thank you, Love Fabi. Thank you, Fabiola. Thank you, everybody that came and support. I love all the chat. I love it all. Um, but mainly, you can find me on Clubhouse in the Small House of Poetry, and that is where we have our spaces. On Saturday, come in Saturday because we're going to have the kitchen where we're doing nothing but poetry, back to back to back to back in our in the kitchen. Then we have the living room where we break down pieces. And this coming Sunday, we're going to have Spit Raw as our interviewee.
And
And
what are
when
these
that when
time slots? Let's run it back again on Clubhouse. What days and time slots are these rooms?
Okay. On Saturdays, we have the kitchen that's usually led by Wallace the Elder Reed and Gina Storm. And that's where we do nothing but back to back poetry. There's no introduction of your pieces, there's no conversation. Then we just spitting. And if you want to hear poetry, and the more people we get up there, the more poetry you're going to hear, or the less amount of people, the more rounds we're going to have. But we're just doing poetry. Then that's on Saturday. On Sunday, we had the living room. In the living room, we do interviews. Now we might have an open mic interview where you're the person that comes in. Like 5 to 6 people come up. The first 5 to 6 people, they present their pieces. We'll have a discussion about it. But what's unique about this Sunday, we're going to have a main interviewee, and that's going to be Spit Raw. And we'll be interviewing him for like an hour. And then after 8 o'clock, we'll let everybody else up to talk to him and interview him and have a discussion and have a speed round at the end. So that's at Sunday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m., 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. The kitchen is 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. on Saturdays. And then we had the WSHOP AM drive. This is what I mean. They pushed me out of my comfort zone in Small House of Poetry. They made me the front runner of the Small House, the WSHOP AM drive. And that's 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern. And that is a topics, what say you, what's in your cup, how the hell is the weather, and where the hell are you at? It's conversation. And instead of a music break, we have a poetry break. And we just have a lot of good time, a lot of banter, a lot of friendships have been formed there. Scott is part of it. He's our partner in crime from Partners in Rhyme. He does the What's in Your Cup. So that's every Monday, 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern. If I don't say that I'm the lead person, I'm going to hear it from Jared. See that? Who hosts that?
Who
You see
hosts
what I
that?
Yeah.
Who hosts
Yes.
that with the ear?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Who hosts that? See, and I tried to get it out before I saw that. So
And
yeah,
then the
that's it.
rundown.
The rundown, and this and our Small House of Poetry family, which I have great support here within this space, is Wallace the Elder Reed, Jared. I call him the Matrix Storm because he's usually a lot in Matrix, not as much lately, but we got Gina Storm, we got Fabi, Love Fabi, we got essentially Janice, Javette Thomas, Frequency, um, and we are a ragtag group. The people have never met each other, but we love each other and we're family. And that's
Y'all
what
fit
makes us
so
the
well
Small
together
House of
too.
Poetry.
Y'all do.
That's that's my family.
Well,
Yeah.
it's Friday.
Love you all. Thank you for
Thank you,
being
Mama
here.
Donna.
I appreciate you,
I,
Sunshine.
I
Kisses.
love you, love you, love you.
Love you
Just
all of
Jay
y'all.
is petty. Regina said Just Jay is petty. Um,
We try not to let our dirty laundry out, but every once in a while it shows up.
yeah, it happens. That's who
It
got to be
happens. It's
cool
in
with my
every
family.
family.
Yeah, that's right. So y'all know what I normally say. It's Friday.
Yep.
Be cooling how y'all be cooling, especially with this type of climate that we are in these current days. Y'all be safe out there in them
Oh, what
streets.
mighty?
It's about accountability and duality. When I shine, you shine. We shine together.
Together.
So I want y'all to love on each other a little more, write a little more, spend time a little more, and hug each other a little more, and continue to give those their flowers who deserve it, whether they can accept them or not. It's all done in love and peace and poetry, everyone. Appreciate you.
Deuces.
Peace.